Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are alphaclaimsandhire.co.uk, Birmingham's best and leading accident management company with £1,000 referral with the code SCAR10. I really appreciate you joining me, and we've got a lot of news this week to get through, and I'm going to start today's story with the murder of the Romanian security guard Tudor Simionov, who was 33 years old, and he died on New Year's Eve while defending a Mayfair townhouse that was used for parties. This is not a story you often hear in the media about an immigrant that came here to work hard and make a family for himself and make a better life for himself. This man actually fended off 9 attackers before he was stabbed to death outside this luxury building. The final moments of the bouncer's life were recorded outside the £12.5 million Mayfair townhouse. Tudor Simionov was filmed fighting off 9 men before he was murdered outside 80 Park Lane, where a private $2 grand a table gathering was going on at 5 AM yesterday. Tudor was seen pushing men away and throwing punches as the gang tried to storm the luxury apartment block overlooking Hyde Park, but the Snapchat film ends before he was knifed in the chest. Footage from after the stabbing shows the mob having vases thrown at them from the foyer, with one of the attackers getting smashed in the head and fleeing from the blood-stained doorstep. Tudor had moved to the UK from Romania for a better life just 2 months ago, and his heartbroken girlfriend has revealed they intended to get married and start a family in 2019. Madalina Angal: right now I can't think about him in the past. He was my future, my husband. We came to London for a better life. I can't explain it. The pain is too much. And the footage that was released was very graphic, and it showed to the extent of how he defended this property that he was paid to do, and he'd done his job to the best of his ability. The doorman was guarding a £5 grand a week rental property, described as Britain's most exclusive luxury student pad and previously linked to swingers parties. A club promoter called Leroy Rose, 25, fought to save Mr. Tudor's life, but said he only survived around a minute after being stabbed in the chest. He told The Standard, "I saw him come back inside. He was in a suit and it was covered in blood. He didn't have a protective vest or anything. I saw blood coming from his chest. I pulled him into the back and grabbed the towel and held the wound. He never said a word. He was in shock. He only survived a minute. He was stabbed in the middle of the chest. He's a hero. He died trying to save his colleagues. He beat up about 9 guys by himself." And it's the way that he died as well. Like, he went out with dignity. He kept his calm. He was composed, and you have to respect anybody that could look death in the face like that. 2 of the bouncers, along with a woman who worked at the venue booking tables, was also stabbed. So this could have been a hell of a lot worse. Like, if this guy wasn't here, these people could have been stabbed to death. It's usually people who we know and the venue know we are coming. The people outside were trying to get in but were not allowed in. The owner is a very rich man. He's in the public eye. The place works by paying a fee to buy a table. Mr. Rose said the bouncer had actually been placed inside the venue to monitor security, but left to help his colleagues at the door after a group of 9 or more thugs tried to make their way in. He said there was a fight outside and he came out to help. The security guards were getting beaten up and he went out to help them. He helped those guys, but he had only been out there for 30 seconds when he was stabbed in the middle of the chest. I saw him come back inside. I saw him bleeding and I said, come here, and I took him into the bathroom. His suit was covered in blood and it was coming out of his chest. He died in front of the promoter. Went into the hallway, everything was smashed up. The attackers managed to kick down the door as well to the actual property, and other people were stabbed on the floor. There was blood everywhere. They said that he was a really nice guy. He was a hero. I totally agree. This guy potentially save people's lives. A 26-year-old man has since been arrested on suspicion of murder and is currently held in London police station. And then it turned out afterwards his friends had said that he only decided to work because he was offered £400 to work that evening, which is double what he would usually get for working in the West End. And due to the fact that he wanted to start a family and start a life for himself in this country, he couldn't turn the work down. It turns out he was also an accomplished boxer and a rower, and at one stage he had ambitions to row for Romania, but gave them up to work after losing his father in his early 20s, and he also lost his mother earlier this year. How sad. He was a devout Christian and attended church regularly. Was there anything about this guy that just wasn't stand up? People filmed the attack on their phones outside the luxury apartment that was hired out for New Year's Eve, and it has views of Hyde Park with 24-hour concierge. And today, 2 men have been convicted for the manslaughter following the death of Tudor on New Year's Day. Following a 6-week trial at the Old Bailey, Khalil from Brent, Haroon Akram from Hammersmith and Fulham pleaded guilty to manslaughter on the second day of trial, with Ahmed Munajed from Hammersmith and Fulham pleading guilty to violent disorder. Hamada from Brent was found guilty of violent disorder on the 2nd of September and not guilty of GBH ×4. The jury were unable to reach a verdict on him in respect of charges of murder and further GBH. They will be sentenced at the same court on a later agreed date. The jury found Abdem al-Shalakani of Hammersmith and Fulham not guilty of violent disorder, while Shaymar Lamrani from Hillingdon was found not guilty of perverting the course of justice. The court heard that Tudor had been employed at the party at 80 Park Lane on the 30th of December. I want to see more stories of positive depictions of immigrants just doing something positive, because of course not everybody is out to just drain society and drain the resources. A lot of people want to come here, work and make a better life for themselves. So I really want to hear what people have to say on this, and please pay your respects to him. Rest in peace to Tudor Simionov, and please don't forget to join us later on for more music news by 6 p.m. today. Thank you for joining me. Scarcity Studios YouTube channel.